Let's go. All right, so today we are talking about live challenges. Man, it is challenge season. Okay, it is challenge season, and everybody is doing challenges. You're doing a challenge, you're doing a challenge, you're doing a challenge. So, everyone is doing challenges, but the thing about these life challenges is there is some information out there that will lead you to believe that you can just throw this challenge up and just run it and you're good, right? So now, number one, I'm all for being prepared. And I know they say just start, just do it. But listen, it's still a little bit of planning you need to do. Okay. And with this planning, it's stuff you cannot even Google. Now, challenges aren't new. They're definitely not new. But trying to just jump up and do them is not good. So let's get into why you can't just jump up and I'm gonna run a challenge in next week without planning. You listen. I know. First of all, I'm an overthinker. All right, I'm an overanalyze. I overanalyze. I overprepare. I do all of the things, but I'm not trying to get you to do all the things because you still need to be prepared, man. And the reason why you need to be prepared is because you want to make a good impression, right? And I know they say just do it, just do it, just do it. But hold up, wait a minute. Wait a minute. WAYMENT. Wait a minute. Don't just do it. Before you do it, let's put some thought into this, okay? Everything I teach and tell and preach and tell you is to start with the strategy. Challenges are no different. You need to map it out first. What is this challenge going to be on? Number one, okay? What are you going to do your challenge on? What is the transformation? What is the transformation you want them to get? And then you need to map out, am I doing a 3-day challenge? Am I doing a 4-day challenge? Am I doing the whole gamut, the whole 5-day challenge? What am I doing out here? So if you're doing the whole 5-day challenge, map out what you're doing those 5 days. What are the topics? You need the topics because they got to go on the funnel, right? So what are the topics for the 5 days that you need to do? Okay. And how are you running it? Okay. Are you having a VIP? Is the VIP going to have a special session the day before the challenge start? What are you going to do on that special session? Now, yes, you need to figure out what you're going to do in that special session, but you really don't need to know that to plan out the challenge. But you do need to have this structure in place. Like, listen, what am I doing out here? And what time is my challenge going to be? And if I'm doing 5 days, I need to make sure that I'm ready. Okay. So, are you doing VIP? If you're doing VIP, then now you know you need to plan that if you're going to do 40 minutes before, if you're going to do an hour before your regular session. And you need to have a special session for VIP, right? Are you are you going to have people apply for your offer? Oh, we didn't even get into the offer because is the offer even ready? All right. So are you going to have people apply for your offer? What are you going to do for that? And let me put this disclaimer out there. Challenges, you need a business coach and a systems coach. So your business coach needs to tell you how you need to structure this challenge for your business. Okay. I'm not a business coach. I'm a systems coach. Okay. Not a business coach. But you need to get with your business coach like, hey, okay, I want to run a challenge. How should I set this up to transition into my next offer? And if not, then just run a challenge to run a challenge to get your name out there. Don't take my advice. What is that disclaimer? This is not financial advice. I am not an accountant. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Listen, this is not business coach advice. But what I'm telling you is make sure you understand challenges are not for the weak at heart. All right. They're not. Or revenue strategies. Yes, yes. They're not for the weak at heart, okay? Because you have to put a lot of time, effort, and energy into the challenge itself when you're running it. So that's why I'm cautioning and telling you, listen, you need to sit your butt down somewhere and prepare for this challenge first. Don't just jump up like, bam, I'm about to run this challenge, blah, blah, blah. This is not one of those cash influx strategies that I see them say. Oh, you want to influx of cash, run a challenge. Hold on. Okay, hold on. hold up. Hold up before you do that. So, the first thing you need to do is plan that out. Am I doing 3 days? Am I doing 4 days, 5 days? What is my challenge going to be? Is it 30 days? Man, I set up a 66-day challenge. It was email, but I set up a 66-day challenge before. And when I tell you everything was set up, the emails and all of that was set up, my man planned that out. See what I'm saying? So you want to make sure we're talking live challenges where you're showing up. People are showing up. So you want to make sure you plan. How many days? If you're going to do 5 days, then make sure that you have your plan together. Okay. And that plan needs to be what are the topics going to be to provide them this transformation. Again, you need to get with a coach on that because I don't do that type of coaching. But what are the topics going to be for that transformation? And once you have those topics, okay, you want to write them down, put them on a Google sheet. When you plan this out, put everything on a Google sheet or a Microsoft Word or a document. Okay. What are my 5 days going to be? Bam. Day one, day two, day three, day four, day five. Okay. Boom. What am I going to do on VIP? If you don't know, it's cool. You can figure that out when you just jump on. It don't matter. That's just either a meet and greet. You can play a game. You can do Q&A. I recommend you do Q&A because that's going to help you with information testimonials. It's going to help you understand where you need to go. You may have to make a change in what you teach if you ready like that. Okay. So always give them the opportunity to ask questions because that gives you content and information into and insight into your business. All right. Now, once you have that planned out, put it on the Google Sheet, put the days and the times you're going to run your challenge, put that on the Google Sheet too. Now you have that upfront structure. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you some things that most people don't know to tell you about challenges. Number one, the first thing you need to do to prepare. All right. So y'all know I love, love, love football. I don't know if y'all can see my football. Y'all can see my football on Facebook. IG, y'all can't see my football. See my football up there. Y'all see my football. I love my football. Um, you got to prepare for the game. Flat out. You got to prepare for the game because challenges take a lot of energy, okay? And you are on 100% on with these people for 5 days. You're 100% on for sometimes 2 hours a day, an hour and 45 minutes. It just depends. Mine, if I say I'm in and I'm in and I'm cutting it off. But most people will still give you grace, answer your questions, blah, blah, blah. Listen, that first day for VIP, don't make it too intensive because you still got a whole week of energy you need to reserve. So if it's meet and greet, then do that. I would make them talk as much as I can so that I didn't have to talk so much, because you're going to need your energy, and I cannot say this enough. You're going to need your energy. This is a different type of energy. If you work out every day, you probably can roll with it. I'm gonna check in with my clients who work out, my fitness clients who run challenges to see. But listen, you need all your energy, okay? Do not plan anything for challenge week. Try to keep your schedule light. Try to keep the clients that you need to see light during challenge week. I'm just saying, until you get your reps up, okay? Until you have put enough skin in the game to where you can do that, because it's gonna take all your energy. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. Challenges are going to take your energy. So make sure you're ready. Make sure you hydrate. Listen, y'all know I don't even like water, but make sure you hydrate. Make sure you are ready. Okay. You gotta be ready, man. You gotta be ready. Listen, you never worked out before. You better start working out a month before your challenge. I am not lying. Okay. That challenge will wipe your butt out. All right. Now, listen, you can't Google that. They're not going to tell you that. Challenges are very stressful on your body. Listen. All right. And another thing, for those of you who have Wi-Fi bandwidth drainers. I'm talking kids playing video games and Roblox and all the little things that they're playing, and live streaming and streaming Netflix. Listen, none of that during the challenge. All right. You have to tell your kids, listen, Linda, my challenge is from 6 to 8, whatever it is, between 6 to 8 during this week, all devices off. Turn off your Wi Fi, especially if you don't have high speed Wi Fi. Make sure the people in your house are not streaming at the time you are doing your challenge, because it takes a lot of bandwidth. Just like I'm telling you, it takes a lot of energy to run a challenge. It takes a lot of bandwidth to live stream, right? So when you live stream from Zoom in the Facebook, it's trying to pull all the juice, right? Get off that dang Roblox. Yes. um it's pulling all the juice, and you need that juice, because then it gets sketchy in the Facebook group, and then you're going in and out, and people can't hear you. It's lagging really bad. It's going to be a small lag, but you don't want it so bad that if you're trying to time like drops and stuff like that, it's gonna be ugly. So make sure that the people in your house are not live streaming, playing games, doing anything on the same Wi-Fi that you're utilizing at that time. Okay. And then don't think that you're gonna go somewhere public and do it and live stream, because now you're captive to their internet, and that may be a whole situation that I don't think you're ready for. So don't do that. Okay. And the last thing that you can't Google. It's some more things, but these are the most important things, because if you're planning a challenge, I want you to think about these things up front. You must schedule in time to test your whole entire system, especially that live streaming. You gotta test the live streaming going into the Facebook group. You can't just get on your challenge and think you're gonna just do it. No, because if you didn't set it up right, if it's not set up right, then it's not gonna work anyway. And then you're gonna be fumbling around, and you know, I'm sure that that distracts the person. Like, what in the world is this ghetto fabulous mess? I've seen it happen. I've been on the challenge and heard that comment. You don't want your challenge to be ghetto. So definitely don't have that should be the topic. How to not have ghetto challenges. Definitely, because depending on the content you're trying to give, people are really tapped in to the challenge. And I'm gonna tell you one other thing that was my personal challenge experience. I know it's a thing to have guests on your challenges, but make sure you have delivered on everything that you said you were going to deliver in that schedule that you set up, right? Because remember that schedule goes on to your pages, and it goes into your emails, so they know what they're expecting. That's why they paid to sign up. Make sure they're getting what you said you were going to give them before you bring a guest on. So I had that experience, and I was like, listen, I could have did without the guests. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that way, but I understand what the impact of bringing on a guest is. But when you're doing your challenge, think about your audience and what they're looking to get from you. And is that going to be helpful? Right. And I don't know. Is it just me, but shouldn't the guest maybe be somebody that's complimentary to your services, right? So if I'm talking about systems, I think that I would bring on a guest that's going to help you based on the questions that I get, like a copywriter. I would bring a copywriter on to talk about, you know, copyright it. If I was going to bring a guest on. So if you're going to do the guest thing, just make sure you've delivered on all the content that you promised before you bring that guest on. Because the purpose of bringing the guest on is to help these people move to the next level, to help them move into your offer, which is usually a high ticket offer. So if you haven't given me everything and then you brought this guest on, my thought process is, well, why would I pay you upward to five figures to get into your mastermind? Are you going to do the same thing? Because I'm left incomplete with what you promised. You promised this because this is what you said. Day one, we talk about this. Day two, we talk about this. Day three, day four, day five. You didn't talk about everything, or you cut it short. So just keep that in mind when you're planning out your challenges. Okay. Um, I do feel like the guests will break up the monotony, but shoot, if they rocking with you, they rocking with you. Why would you break that up? Because if you're doing like a high ticket, like for me, so I'm thinking about doing a challenge workshop, right? And then a challenge boot camp. Well, y'all want to know the systems. Y'all want to know, what I've seen, what I've done, right? What have I seen in these back end streets? What have I seen? Listen, what do you know? Tell me, Jen, what you know. Not me bringing on a guest. They don't care about what the unless the guest can help you, right? Now, if I brought on a guest, it's gonna be somebody else who's running the back end of challenges, and then they gonna tell you what they saw, right? So now you got what I saw, you got what they saw. So now you got all the juice to make sure your challenge is not ghetto. I couldn't believe I said that like this is ghetto. I was like, oh my gosh, not ghetto. So and it just really depends too how you position yourself. If you position yourself as somebody who always has it together, then people are going to expect that from your challenge. Y'all know I be all over the place, do all the things, right? So if stuff go wrong, I mean, I even had I was very upset, but my audience was like, Jen, that was the best webinar ever. My webinar was trash to me because all of the things happened in the back end wrong. They didn't know they were wrong. I told them it was wrong because I'm always gonna tell you. Just like right now, if you on Facebook, I don't know what's wrong with this Canon camera. Why I keep going in and out, but I'm gonna keep talking. But yeah, if you watching me on Facebook and YouTube, this Canon camera keep going out with this eCam connection. So I got to get with them to figure out why this camera keep doing that because it's really making me mad. But I'm gonna keep rolling, and you know that I be doing a lot because I'm a systems person. I'm a techie. I will take something apart and try to put it back together. So that's just who I am. But if that's not who you are and people expect you to be together, don't go out here doing your challenges and you got all this stuff wrong and you don't understand what you need to know. Right. And so that's why I put up, listen, I give you a checklist. Okay. I give you a checklist. The checklist tells you everything you're going to need for the challenge. That's meant to hopefully make you stop and say, whoa. Then the next step is the guide, the challenge guide. The challenge guide breaks down everything you need to know that you can't Google, that nobody is going to tell you unless they've actually run a challenge and unless they've actually experienced these things. So they're not, just like I told you, listen, don't have your family live streaming and playing Roblox while you're doing your challenge because it's gonna mess your stream up. And I say Roblox because that's what the kids are playing and whatever, or if they on metaverse and all that type of stuff. Um, make sure none of that is going on during the time frame that you're doing your challenge. Nobody's gonna tell you that. Nobody's gonna advise you that. Okay. Nobody's going to advise you like, look, yo, we need to test this live stream to Facebook first before we run the challenge. Not, are we doing it during the challenge and then you trying to instruct the person how to go live. That was irritating. And it's probably irritating because I know better, but it breaks it up. Like if you're giving all the sauce, you're answering questions and doing all these things, and then you fumble to get to Facebook, you just broke the monotony. You just broke it up. Whatever you tried to do, you just broke it. So just make sure. So the guide does make a lot of people stop because after they look at that guide, it's like, oh no, first of all, it's one or two things. Jen, can I book a strategy call with you? I have some questions. Yes. Jen, I looked at this guide and I'm not about to do all this. Can you just do it? So yeah, that comes with a fee, a hefty fee. But yes, and so I'm putting these products out here because I see that there's a need, and I don't want you guys out here looking crazy and people doing disputes because your challenge was crazy. They didn't know where they were supposed to go. We're going to talk about that next week about the general admission versus VIP, um how you can help them understand better where they're supposed to go, and the structure. One other thing that I don't see people do now, I did just tell you to protect your energy, but one thing that I know that one of my clients did that helps tremendously is they had an entire challenge meet and greet, meaning general admission and VIP all came together and got on a Zoom call, and then they explained the challenge during that Zoom call. And you could do an icebreaker or whatever. And that's an awesome opportunity for people to be able to upgrade number one to VIP because they didn't understand that, oh, I gotta watch this just in the Facebook group. I can't ask you no questions. Ah, nah, we're not doing that. So that is an awesome option as well to be able to get people to understand where to go. So that's what we'll be talking about next week on our live challenge system. So we will be on live challenge systems for a while.